10, 9, ignition sequence start, 6.
Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. My name is Whack Attack. I guess I just go by Whack now on the Discord. I changed my screen name. Yeah, my name's Whack. Today is April 3rd, and I've got a really busy episode for you here. So let's get started. The first thing is something that you probably saw on the Rocket Pool forum today. If you go to the forum, then... Oh, I got access denied. Oops. Yeah, we're going to talk about that later as well. But if you go to the forum today, there's some new posts out there, which is for grants, grants management committee's grants round 2. So in this cycle, we will be applying for grants, retroactive grants, and also bounties. Now, let me give you a quick second to tell you what the difference between these three things are. So a grant is when you want to do some work, you tell the grants management committee that this is work that you want to do. You go through the form, you tell them you follow the goals of the GMC, you follow the rubric of the GMC, and then you get all this information about what work are you going to do, how does it build off, how does it help the community, how does it help Rocket Pool, all that good stuff. You answer all these questions basically, and then by doing all of that, you then submit your grant, and the committee reviews that grant, and then you start the work and you get paid for it. So I'll give you an example from grants round number 1. We had Sleety, who submit a grant requesting funding for a tweet animation thread every month. And he'd get X RPL for that every month, provided he did the work. So that was him working for himself to do a grant. The second kind of grant here that we have is something called a retrospective award. So this is something for work that's already been done. So what does that mean? That means that you wanted to do some work for that you thought there was some work that should be done to make Rocket Pool better in one way, the community better, better for our ETH holders, whatever, something like that. You go out there and you do the work. And then once you've done the work, you then later you can request a grant for the work that you did. Now, a lot of the work that was done in grant cycle 1 was done without any idea that there would be any grants, or at the time there wasn't like a set roadmap to getting grants through the pDAO. So people did the work, for free, basically, without any expectation of remuneration, except some donations or gifts or that kind of stuff that they might have gotten. Then once the grant started, then they were able to apply for those grants and get a chunk of money. So one of the examples I can give you is the rocketscan.io website. Pteris applied for a grant for the website, and he was awarded a grant for that website. Or basically that's something that happened as well. So here we've already got some retroactive awards that have come through, requests for rewards. One is from Cal on behalf of Romana, basically saying that Romana deserves more money for the first cycle of RocketUniArb. Then there's another one from Cal for, two of them here for Valdorff, about the IMC work that Valdorff did, and other stuff that Val's been doing. And after that, we have a whole bunch, here there's one Valdorff is requesting for Noshua, about migration stuff. Here, Valdorff is requesting for Shifrin for making POAPs for the voting, and here Valdorff is requesting one for himself for LEB for research that Val did, that we're going to talk about in today's episode as well. So, and then there's another one here as well from Val for Invis for the RocketUniArb bot, and the work that went into that as well. So these are work that's already finished that you can request a grant for that, and then the GMC will decide whether or not the work was up to the impact that's being claimed in the request, and then they can either offer a lower amount, offer a higher amount, or offer the same amount as requested. And finally, the third kind of grant that we have is a bounty. So it's Grants and Bounties Management Committee. So a bounty is when you think that there should be some work that is done in the community, but you either can't do it yourself or you don't know how to do it yourself. So you set up a prize for people to apply, and then they can get that prize basically by doing that work. So for example, here Val put in the request for a bounty, and it says improve the a Dune analytics dashboard. I think I didn't have full look at this yet, but then other people can have a look at this as well and get ideas and fill out the forms. So yeah, those are the grant stuff that's going on right now. It's really exciting. And then if you want to talk about the work that's being done, then you have this thread where people can discuss and ask questions of the people doing the work. So you can say, hey Val, like, in the grant it said this, but what about this, like blah blah blah, or can you explain what you meant by, I did X, Y, and Z work. So this is the place where you can ask those questions. So it's really great. I want to say thank you to Shifrin for putting these threads together. It's really great. And the grant application deadline for all 3 kinds of grants is in each post, and it's April 15th at midnight UTC. So that is I think 6 p.m. Eastern time on April 14th. So please, April 15th. So please keep that in mind. Make sure that you have your grants ready and submitted before that point, because the GMC will not accept any late submissions. Okay, moving on. So this is something that we covered a little bit last week. Coinbase Ventures getting voted into the oDAO. That finally happened. They put up their bond of 1,750 RPL. So now Coinbase Ventures plus Unit 410 are official members of the Rocket Pool oDAO. They will start performing their oDAO duties right away, and I guess they'll be ready for providing the tree for the next rewards period. So that's pretty good. So last week as well, we had version 1.9.0 go out, and I said at the time, leading up to the hard fork, it's very likely that we will have further versions of version 1.9 because either client teams will be providing hotfixes or there'll be other things. So Joe here says there's going to be a 1.9.1 tonight, and then that was released overnight. So here it says, attention everyone, ping everyone, because some people reported not getting notified about 1.9.0 a few days ago. See the announcement above if you missed it. So everyone got pinged about this, and you got it on the Discord. But some people still haven't updated to 1.9.0, and that is of course essential that you upgrade to 1.9.0. Well, now 1.9.1 if you haven't, if you're still on 1.75 or older. So Joe says here, we just released version 1.9.1, a small big bug fix release over 1.9.0. It says this is a very low priority update for regular users who have already installed version 1.9.0. It says this is a high priority for users who have not updated to 1.9.0 yet, and for oDAO members. So if you're on the oDAO or if you're on an older version, then this is pretty much a mandatory upgrade. So it says it's primarily aimed at improving the experience of new users who are installing the Smartnode for the first time, or experienced users when upgrading from a previous version based from feedback from support. Also fixes a very rare potential timing issue related to rewards tree generation that could affect Oracle DAO rewards based on when a new member joins. And it says thanks to Patches and Pateris for reporting and fixing it. So that's why this is an essential update for the oDAO team, because they want to make sure that they don't get those bugs in the tree generation, which will happen on the 12th. So there's some important dates here, when you have to be updated by and what you need to be doing by then. So all that information is in the post, and the key changes here are Rocket Pool node sync will change a little tiny bit, Rocket Pool network DAO proposals will change, and added more error diagnostic info to Rocket Pool service config and Rocket Pool service install update tracker if they fail. So read the notes for that release to get the full information of what's going on in there. But if you've already upgraded to 1.9.0, then it's a low priority update for you. Maybe you can wait if there's any more client updates in version 1.9.2 or further. Yeah, but otherwise upgrade right now. Okay. So next we have something really cool here. Valdorff posted this on March 31st, and it's an RETH WETH pool in Uniswap. And here, this is in the governance thread, and he says woohoo, and Valdorff says yeah, that's from the governance. So here we just got a screenshot, and then we have another screenshot from Jasper. He says executed nonce 37. We want some POL forks. So that is it's another screenshot again, and then here we can see there's a Uniswap pool that has the RETH WETH pair at 0.3%. And it's got about 4 ETH of RETH in there, and about 4.5 ETH of ETH in there, which is 50-50 on the range. And it says the price range minimum is 0 and the maximum is infinity. So this is a full range a pool. So now what is this? Why are we looking at this? Well, here there's a tweet from Jasper saying the Rocket Pool Incentive Management Committee has just launched a full range RETH ETH Uniswap version 3 position. This full range liquidity pool will provide safety against Oracle attacks as we continue to experiment with version 3 managers for greater efficiency. So this is a pool that is owned by the management incentive management committee. The ETH and RETH in here are held by the incentive management committee. It's not a bribe to anyone else. And I think that this pool will, they'll get more ETH and RETH in here just to add as a way of acting as a safety against Oracle attacks. I don't think it's going to be the main liquidity provider or the main liquidity source, because the focused and the low bound metastable pools have much better mechanisms of getting liquidity, but this can be a nice little backstop. So it's really cool that the IMC is getting this information out there. Congratulations, everyone. Okay, so you might have noticed if you've gone to the Rocket Pool website, and I just did when I went to the DAO website in the beginning of the video, when it says the website's not available. So what's happened is that the website has been under denial of service attacks, DDoS attacks, and Nick says it's been going on for a few weeks now, and this week we've seen some heavy waves of attacks. So then I went and asked Nick, who are they? Where's the attack coming from? And Alias says DDoS is a hard problem to address. It's such a dumb attack. I hate that it can work. And then Nick here replied to me, says we get threats like this pretty frequently, so it's hard to pinpoint an exact actor, but the ones the last few days have been well orchestrated, coming from everywhere on the planet. I said, how much would it cost to orchestrate something like this? And Nick says it costs quite a lot for each attack. And then Alias says it's common to use botnets for this, so the traffic comes from wherever the infected machines are, so everywhere, and look like normal residential addresses, internet addresses. So what happens is, if your machine gets malware or some kind of virus, that machine can be used to one of the uses of that kind of machine can be to be used in these kind of attacks. And it says Nick says it's a balancing act between blocking bad actors and letting legitimate actors through. And 10 validators.eth said, how many flows per day do you see during a DDoS attack? And Nick says this morning there were 24 million requests. So a whole lot of people are trying to attack, to make the website go down. So it's been quite bad. So I said to Nick, what do they gain from attacking Rocket Pool? And then Nick says that basically they try to extort the team, that if you give us money, we'll stop the attack. So I don't think the team pays out for that. I'm not sure of the details, but I just thought this was a really interesting conversation to give people some information about what's happening, about access to the website. I think if parts of the website were open sourced, then we could have different platforms that could be front ends for the contracts. So things like the staking with RETH, swapping your ETH for RETH, that's done through the website. We don't want that to get impacted in the time when Atlas upgrades are happening. especially like on the 4th when the deposit pool size increases so quickly. Saying that though, like there's other routes to deal with those contracts, so I don't think the website specifically needs to be open source for that. But anyway, like I think that might be something good that the community might fund with the GMC, is making like alternate front ends for the contracts to interact with. So interesting. Okay, moving on from that, next we had this thoughts from Valdorff, and he says these are Rocket Pool thoughts specifically related to risk analysis for LEBs. It says previous work has looked into the amount of bond that is necessary for safety, assuming various malicious behaviors and assuming various available mitigations. And see, for example, Ken Smith's work and Stader's EthX light paper. It says both of these analyses dramatically underestimate the potential for loss because they assume that the market they've been able to sample is fully representative of the future market. I will show that we already have strong evidence that the execution layer reward market varies significantly over time. I will use that understanding to estimate some clearly unsafe bond levels. So in the end, I'll conclude that it's possible to enable LEB4s, or in theory smaller, using either a trust-based penalty system with node level collateral, or a system relying on negative commission, or hybrid system to gain benefits from both options. So this paper is quite long, and sadly I've not had time to read it yet, but I know that Val's really smart, and I'm sure that this research is going to be like good quality research. So definitely have a look at some of the contents of this. There's a discussion that's already taken place. I think this is still in a work in progress level, but I'm not sure. So conclusion, Val says my suggestion is for a hybrid approach, trustless negative commission available with no minimum collateral, penalty based smoothing pool available with 10 ETH minimum collateral. The minimum collateral is subject to change by a vote with 2 months notice before taking effect. It says this enable the following options. Node operator size small, negative commission, trustless yes, and then there's like a table of what those variables can be. So then Val posted it to the research thread. It says, can I get some feedback on this? And then people started talking about the different ideas. So A35 you said, Kane mentioned a node-centric model would probably be more ideal and could potentially be a kind of Rocket Pool version 2. This may go well with that. My main question is whether anyone talking about LEBs without forced exits. And he says, non-fungible outcome says, well, LEB4s with shared ETH collateral across mini pools is a different thing than standalone LEB4. If there's a 4 times 4 ETH, 4 times LEB4 minimum, that would be a very different kind of security value evaluation than just a single LEB on node by itself. So this discussion went on for quite a while. There were a lot of good points back and forth, and then Val's already been making some changes to that, redid the value loss section much clearer, how high penalizable collateral matters, also kind of sucks how much it is needed, and then people were giving good feedback there. So if you're interested in this discussion, go and read Val's paper, go and read this discussion in the research thread where people were kind of talking about it and ideas were being bounced back and forth, and I think you can get some really good ideas of what's going on. So definitely go give that a read. And then Val ends with this, in the end I conclude that it's possible to enable LEB4s, or in theory smaller, using a trust based penalty system like we just talked about. So that's really good, Val. Thank you for that paper, and I hope that it pushes a really good conversation forward. I think right now the community and maybe even the team kind of stands at the point where we want to release LEB8s and see what kind of push-pull factors that has on node operators and our ETH stakers. And depending on how those dynamics come into play, then the necessity of a LEB4 will be more well known. And with that in mind, then we can start to plan for that basically. So I think that's really cool. Okay, next I wanted to let you know about this EthStaker call that will be happening on April 6th. It's going to happen at 12 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to have EthStaker will be hosting Rocket Pool to talk about Atlas. We'll talk about how they're moving from 16 ETH mini pools to 8 ETH mini pools, withdrawals, and other things they've got planned. So this was one of their community calls that they'll be having, and I think this is going to be really great. So I'm not sure who from the team will be attending this. I think it'll likely be Langers who will do this, but I'm not sure. I think Langer's going to have a really busy couple of weeks ahead, just getting the word out about Atlas. So he's going to be really, really busy with that. But yeah, so this will be hosted by EthStaker, and I'm sure other things will be coming up too. Okay, next, last week we talked about the letters is RocketUniArb, a contract that was put onto the RocketUniArb GitHub by Romano. It was pulled, or like whatever the GitHub terminology is, sorry. But then Romano gave an update. He says that the RocketUniArb contract has been used for real a few times now. So as you can see here, we have it used 17 times. It's been used 17 times now, which is really great. So that is, money coming back to community members from people who were not able to bring 32 ETH to ARB their own. This will borrow money from Uniswap to ARB and then give it back. So it's really cool that this option exists now. Basically, I think there might be instances where people might be able to ARB right now. I think the window's getting smaller and smaller, and the opportunities where it's profitable are getting less and less. After the 4th, I think the premium pretty much is going to go away because of the increase in the deposit pool size. So that basically 13,000 ETH worth of ARB will be possible. I'm not sure if that will be ARBed or not. I don't know whether it will be profitable to ARB that or not, but that will change the game completely because, we'll actually have 13,000 ETH worth of space in the deposit pool again. I have this idea that that's going to be gone within a couple of days with a couple of big deposits that have been waiting on the sidelines for a while who didn't want to pay the premium. And then we'll be back to a full deposit pool again into Atlas. But once Atlas goes live, in 2 weeks' time, then we'll have LEB8s, and current node operators will be shifting from their mini pool 16 to LEB8s, and that will basically empty out the deposit pool. So it's really exciting. I'm really glad that we've got this, but the ARB opportunities are definitely getting less and less now. Next, we've got this update from Invis on the ping server, who is working on some new versions of Rocket Watch bot to tell us what's happening in the tell us what's happening with the event spot. And it seems like just 1 second. Yeah, it seems like what's happening is like the different routes to getting onto the bot is changing, so more information is being made clear here. So it says, mini pool created using credit, so that will tell you that the money came from the credit because it was a LEB from the existing node operator that split into 16 became 2, or that kind of stuff. So it's just giving you a little bit more information about what's happening at each transaction, because otherwise it might get confusing. And then here in the wild now we have this is from the actual Rocket Pool events. So here it says mini pool has been created with node operator share of 16 ETH. So it's just telling you where a little bit more information about where the ETH is coming from, just so once we get to Atlas, this is going to get a bit more complicated, so getting that little bit of extra information is going to be really helpful for that. So thank you Invis for that work. Okay, next, as you know, we had version 1.9.0 upgraded last week. So Schifrin was doing a nice job of trying to get people motivated to update to version 1.9.0. And the way he did that was an upgrade party. So if you upgraded to version 1.9.0 within 24 hours, then and posted evidence of that, you would get a POAP. So in this thread, we had 173 people replied. So of course, a lot of people were just talking and stuff as well. So it wasn't that many people who actually posted their screenshots, but it was a very sizable number of people who posted their screenshots of them upgrading to version 1.9.0, which was really nice to see. You can literally see like hundreds of people here posting their screenshots, which is fantastic. And then Schifrin sent out the POAP. So here you can see the POAP. It says upgraded to version 1.9.0, Rocket Pool, and there's a date of March 31st. And there's a description as well. This is March 31st. Smartnode 1.0 was unleashed upon the world, heralding new era of possibility and potential for Rocket Pool protocol. The upgrade wasn't just any ordinary update, it was a crucial step in preparing for the much anticipated Atlas and Shapella upgrades. Rocket Pool community had been eagerly anticipating this moment, and the excitement was palpable. Joe, the hardworking developer at the heart of the project, couldn't help but feel a sense of awe as he looked back at the long road that had led him to this point, the countless hours of effort and the relentless pursuit of excellence from himself, the team, Rocket Pool community had all led to this moment. As he gazed upon the fruits of his labor, Joe knew that the future held limitless possibilities. The release of Smartnode version 1.9.0 was just the beginning, and he was excited to be part of the journey that lay ahead. POAP designed and distributed by Shifrin, and that description was definitely written by ChatGPT. So this has already been claimed by 81 people, and I think there's probably some more people who haven't claimed it yet as well. So congrats to Shifrin for getting that out. Thank you so much. Okay, talking about POAPs, here we have a POAP Pixel Party, which will happen right before Atlas. So Pixel Parties are really good fun. Like, you share a canvas with whoever wants to join, and you can write whatever you want on there in the time leading up to Atlas taking place. I really love these pixel parties for like these big hard forks. I was able to get whack-whack-attack.eth on the merge pixel party, so I'm going to try to get my name on this one as well. I think that'd be really cool. But yeah, I'm just letting you know that this is going to happen around 3 hours before. I think that's 3 hours before, or maybe 4 hours before the actual hard fork. So definitely pay attention to that if it's something that you're interested in. You might need to put some POAPs to qualify. Normally they have a POAP for sale that you can buy that will help you get like a ticket to the pixel party, and the more tickets you have, the more you can draw. So that's really cool. Okay, next we had this update from Anthony Sassano from Friday's Daily Gwei episode, and he talked a whole lot about Rocket Pool here, which was really great. There were a whole bunch of like topics about Rocket Pool. Like he talked about Atlas, and he just talked about Rocket Pool a whole bunch of times, but there was a specific segment about Atlas that is timestamped in the description, so you can go and watch that. And yeah, thank you, Anthony, for all the amazing positive coverage that you've given to Rocket Pool recently, and that you're still giving. So thank you for that. Okay, as you know, like MEV boost is something that's required to run if you're a Rocket Pool node operator. So I thought this was really interesting to see that the market share of the relays has changed so much since the merge, where now we have 4 relays hold 18 to 30% market share, and how like some of this is changing. So as you can see, Ultrasound Money, Agnostic, Gnosis, Flashbots, Blackstrout, those are the 4 biggest ones. And I think Agnostic Gnosis is not actually part of the Smartnode stack yet, so I think we need to get that included, Joe. Version 1.9.2 can come out with that in there, but it's really great to see that, like a bunch of these are uncensoring relays, which is what we need to have for Ethereum. So good job everyone involved with that. Okay, next we have this fun part of the episode where people were kind of like sharing some of the April Fool's stuff that happened. So this was Bankless, David and Ryan broke up, which they had kind of like a joke going on for a few hours on April 1st. Patches made a joke where I was getting looped back to the submissions page. He was talking about Ken joining the Ethereum Foundation, which would be really cool. Joe had the best one. He says, so I'm sure you all know the last couple of months have been a lot of work, and it's been really taxing on me and my family, and it's something that I brought up with the team a few times. I've talked about options, and I think I've landed on something that's in everyone's best interest. As soon as Atlas launches, I'm going to step down as a Smartnode dev and concentrate my efforts on my true passion in life. I'm going full-time working on breeding hybrid spice chilies, but I don't want there to be any doubt that you're all in good hands, which is why we've hired Arphil as the new lead Smartnode developer and senior blockchain engineer. With his track record of community passion and love for the project, I'm sure you guys will all agree that Rocket Pool has a bright future ahead. So yeah, that was a really good one. And this other one from rpl.eth as well was making an episode of Rocket Fuel Logistics with homemade sound effects. So that was a really funny one as well. So definitely go back and give that a listen if you missed it earlier. Okay, so I'm going to end today's episode on with the raffle. I've talked about the this thread, the RPL Maxi's Whackboard spreadsheet. So I'm sorry if you can't see it on the left of the screen, but I'm just copying and pasting the tickets. Wait, let me see if I can just do this. No, I can't do that. Okay, sorry guys. Yeah, you can see the spreadsheet by bringing up the Whackboard command. What I'm going to do is then I copied and pasted list. Actually, let me just move my camera out of the way. That might help. That's the wrong one. Right, okay, so I'm going to copy and paste all the names into this list. So as you can see, all the names are here. I'm going to add a couple for cheers for helping with the list. And I'm going to add some for RPL Maxi. RPL Maxi. So they're going to get 2 tickets for cheers and 5 tickets for Maxi. Right, okay, so now what I'm going to do, as you can see on the screen, I'm just going to, so this is the whole list. The list is available, like I said, on the Whackboard spreadsheet that RPL Maxi and Cheers have been maintaining. RPL Maxi mostly, and I'm just going to press randomize. As you know, the top 10 people will get $100 each. If you are repeated in the list, then sadly you will be skipped. You can only win 1 prize, and then we'll go on to the next person. So I'm going to randomize this now. Wait, hold on. Oh, there we go. Okay, so number 1, Mambo-san. Number 2, Ali Ask. Number 3, Tentech. Number 4, Sneaky. Number 5, Trevor. Sneaky again there, got 1 more, so we removed that. Then number 6, Cheers. And then Mambo-san and Cheers again, and Mambo-san again. And number 7, I think that is now Dondo. And then Jasper. And then Patches. And I think that rounds out the top 10. Maybe RPL Maxi 15 gets it as well, but I'm not sure. Let me see. Sneaky. Yeah, this is the list. As you can see, I'll just scroll down so you can see all of it. I will make this list available, which I forgot to do last time. But you can see the whole list right here. That's the top 15. I'm just going to paste the top 20 and let the community figure it out. But those are the winners of the raffle, so congratulations. I'll be in touch with you soon. I'll give you a deadline, probably until Wednesday. If you don't reply, then I'll move on to the next person who will get the ticket. So thank you all for watching, listening, being great members of this community. I hope you all had a great weekend, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.